Hello everyone. If you grew up spending weekend nights laughing along with Happy Days, this video may leave you smiling one moment and quietly emotional the next. From Howard Cunningham, America's beloved TV father, to Fonzie and the legendary leather jacket that defined a generation, the cast created one of television's most unforgettable sitcoms. But time changes everyone. Some remained timeless icons, while others faced heartbreak and loneliness far from the spotlight. Today, we're looking back at their journey from then to now. Howard Cunningham, portrayed by Tom Bosley at the age of 47, became the image of the classic American father for an entire generation of television viewers. Howard owned a small hardware store and lived within the peaceful rhythm of 1950s America, where family dinners, old radios, and the sound of motorcycles passing outside still symbolized a simpler era untouched by modern technology. Beneath his strict rules and traditional values, however, was a deeply caring man who quietly sacrificed everything for his family, especially in the way he guided and protected his son Richie. Howard represented warmth, stability, and the comforting idea that home was still the safest place in the world. Tom Bosley was born on October 1, 1927, in Chicago, and served in the United States Navy before entering the entertainment industry. His life experience and emotional honesty helped shape the sincerity audiences felt in his performances. Bosley also won a Tony Award for his acclaimed stage work long before becoming a television icon. After years battling illness privately, he passed away from complications of lung cancer on October 19, 2010, at the age of 83 in California. Joni Cunningham, portrayed by Erin Moran at the age of 14, became the spirited younger sister audiences watched grow up before their eyes. Throughout the series, at first, Joni was the curious little sister constantly interrupting Richie's conversations, asking innocent but surprisingly sharp questions about the adult world around her. As the years passed, however, she evolved into one of television's defining coming-of-age characters, reflecting the changing identity of young American women during the 1970s and 1980s. Beneath her playful energy and teenage charm was a young woman trying to balance traditional family values with growing independence and dreams of her own future. Erin Moran was born on October 18, 1960 in California and entered the entertainment industry when she was only 5 years old. Following the enormous success of Joni Cunningham, she became known as America's beloved girl next door. Yet life after fame proved difficult, marked by personal struggles and career instability. In 2017, Moran passed away at the age of 56 from complications related to advanced throat cancer, leaving many longtime fans heartbroken by the loss of a familiar part of their youth. Arnold Takahashi, portrayed by Pat Morita at the age of 42, turned a small neighborhood diner owner into one of the most comforting and memorable figures of American television nostalgia. Arnold was far more than the man serving hamburgers and milkshakes behind the counter. He became the quiet observer of a generation growing up during the rise of rock and roll, witnessing friendships, heartbreaks, rebellion, and first love unfold inside his diner. With his calm humor, sharp wit, and gentle wisdom, Arnold often settled arguments, offered thoughtful advice, or simply listened when the younger characters needed someone to understand them. His restaurant felt less like a business and more like a second home, where people slowly discovered who they truly were. Pat Morita was born on June 28, 1932, in California to a Japanese-American family deeply affected by World War II internment camps. Those painful early experiences helped shape the resilience he later carried into Hollywood. Despite achieving major success in film and television, Morita privately battled alcoholism and serious health problems for many years. He passed away on November 24, 2005, at the age of 73 from kidney failure following multiple long-term illnesses. Al Del Vecchio, portrayed by Al Molinaro at the age of 55, transformed a grumpy diner owner into one of the most beloved comedic figures in American television. As the manager of the famous neighborhood hangout, Al stood at the center of countless teenage adventures, arguments, romances, and unforgettable moments shared by the younger characters. Though often loud, impatient, and frustrated by the constant chaos around him, beneath the tough exterior was a deeply caring man who quietly treated everyone like family. His diner became more than just a place to eat. It was a safe gathering place where friendships grew, mistakes were forgiven, and memories of youth were created night after night. Al Molinaro was born on June 24, 1919, in Wisconsin to an Italian immigrant family and spent much of his early life facing financial hardship before discovering acting later than most performers. His portrayal of Al Del Vecchio made him a lasting symbol of the tough but kind-hearted sitcom uncle, familiar to generations of American audiences. After the series ended, he remained popular through nostalgic television appearances and commercials. Molinaro passed away on October 30, 2015, at the age of 96 due to complications related to age and a gallbladder infection. Mork, portrayed by Robin Williams at the age of 23, became one of the strangest and most explosive guest appearances in the history of American sitcom television. As an alien visitor from the planet Ork, Mork arrived with bizarre clothing, chaotic behavior, and a way of thinking completely disconnected from normal human life. Yet beneath the absurd comedy was a character who reflected American society through innocent and brutally honest questions. Mork could not understand greed, dishonesty, or humanity's obsession with status and material success, and that innocence often transformed comedy into something unexpectedly thoughtful. Robin Williams filled the role with unstoppable energy, improvisation, and emotional sincerity, creating a performance that instantly captured audiences and launched one of television's most unforgettable cultural phenomena. Robin Williams was born on July 20, 1951 in Chicago and became one of Hollywood's most extraordinary comedic talents. Following the success of Mork and Mindy, he rose to global fame through legendary films including Dead Poets Society, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Good Will Hunting. Behind the laughter, however, Williams struggled for years with depression, addiction, and Lewy body disease. He passed away on August 11, 2014, at the age of 63 at his California home. Richie Cunningham, portrayed by Ron Howard at the age of 20, became the defining image of the all-American teenage boy during television's great nostalgia era of the 1970s. Richie was the oldest son in a traditional middle-class family, trying to navigate first love, friendship, growing responsibilities, and the fear of falling behind in a rapidly changing world. Unlike the rebellious Fonzie or the flashy youth icons popular at the time, Richie connected with audiences through sincerity, awkwardness, and emotional honesty. He represented the ordinary young man searching for identity while holding on to the values of family, loyalty, and kindness. That quiet relatability helped make him one of the most recognizable television characters of an entire generation. Ron Howard was born on March 1, 1954 in Oklahoma and became one of the rare child actors who successfully reinvented himself in Hollywood. After leaving the role of Richie Cunningham, he evolved into one of America's most respected film directors. His film A Beautiful Mind earned him Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Picture. Now at 72, Howard is estimated to have a net worth exceeding $200 million and continues focusing on family life, history, and meaningful film projects. Arthur Fonzie Fonzarelli, portrayed by Henry Winkler at the age of 28, became a cultural phenomenon far beyond ordinary television fame. Fonzie was the leather-jacketed motorcycle rebel with slick-back hair, effortless confidence, and a cool attitude that defined an entire era of American pop culture. Yet beneath the swagger and humor was a lonely man shaped by emotional neglect and a difficult childhood without real family stability. Originally introduced as a minor supporting character, Fonzie quickly dominated the screen through Winkler's magnetic charisma, transforming into the true breakout star of the series. Audiences connected not only with his rebellious image, but also with the vulnerability hidden beneath it, making Fonzie both an icon of coolness and one of television's most emotionally human characters. Henry Winkler was born on October 30, 1945, in New York, and struggled throughout his youth with severe dyslexia that made school extremely difficult. Rather than allowing those challenges to define him, He turned them into motivation and eventually became one of the world's most beloved television stars. Now at 80, Winkler continues writing inspirational books for children with learning disabilities, supporting charitable causes, and serving as a symbol of resilience, kindness, and personal perseverance. Marion Cunningham, portrayed by Marion Ross at the age of 45, became the comforting image of the classic American mother that millions of viewers wished they could return home to every night. Marion was far more than a gentle homemaker caring for her family. She was the emotional heart of the Cunningham household, quietly holding everyone together through warmth, patience, and understanding. Often acting as the peacemaker between Howard and the children, she noticed the feelings others overlooked and offered support without demanding attention. Though soft-spoken and traditional on the surface, Marion possessed a quiet inner strength, always knowing when to defend her family against social pressure, judgment, or the changing world around them. Her kindness made the Cunningham home feel real, safe, and deeply human. Marion Ross was born on October 25, 1928, in Minnesota, and spent many years working in small, often unnoticed roles before finally finding the character that defined her career. Free from scandal and Hollywood drama, she became known as one of the most respected and beloved actresses of the classic sitcom era. Now at 97, Ross occasionally appears at fan events, spends time writing memoirs, and remains active in community work. Though never a glamorous superstar, she left behind something far more lasting: genuine warmth and humanity. Patsy Weber, portrayed by Anson Williams at the age of 24, brought to life the lovable but awkward best friend everyone remembers from their school years. Patsy was the music-loving teenager who cared more about singing than studying and often found himself at the center of hilarious situations because of his innocent, sometimes clueless personality. Unlike the sharper Ralph or the effortlessly cool Fonzie, Patsy represented the ordinary young man simply trying to fit in, impress people, and find his place in the world. His sincerity, optimism, and constant attempts to be taken seriously made him both funny and deeply relatable. Beneath the comedy was a character who reflected the insecurities and hopes of everyday American teenagers growing up during a changing era. Anson Williams was born on September 25, 1949, in California, and became widely recognized as the image of the friendly, dependable best friend on late 1970s American television. After the series reached enormous success, he surprised many by transitioning behind the camera and building a respected directing career on shows including Beverly Hills, 90210, and Melrose Place. Now at 76, Williams lives a relatively private life focused on golf, writing, and nostalgic television projects. Ralph Malph, portrayed by Don Most at the age of 21, became one of the most recognizable comic personalities of classic American television. Ralph was the friend who always arrived with overconfident jokes, convinced he was far more charming and impressive than reality suggested, constantly turning ordinary moments into performances centered around himself. Yet beneath the non-stop humor and exaggerated confidence was a young man deeply afraid of being overlooked beside more popular friends like Richie or Fonzie. That insecurity gave Ralph an unexpected emotional depth, making him more than just comic relief. His awkward attempts to stand out reflected the universal teenage fear of not feeling important enough, which helped audiences connect with him far beyond the laughter. Don Most was born on August 8, 1953, in New York, and became closely associated with the image of the funny high school friend during late 1970s American television. After the success of Ralph Malph, he continued working in acting and voice performance, while also surprising many fans by pursuing a serious passion for classic jazz and swing music. Although he struggled at times with being typecast in comedic roles, Most gradually built a respected career around live music and nostalgic television appearances. Now at 72, he continues performing swing music and attending classic TV fan events. Chachi Arcola, portrayed by Scott Baio at age 13, brought a fresh wave of youthful rebellion to the later years of Happy Days. As Fonzie's younger cousin, Chachi was street smart, impulsive, and always trying to prove he was older and tougher than he really was. Living under Fonzie's larger-than-life shadow, he used humor, charm, and risky decisions to stand out on his own. But beneath the swagger was a lonely teenager desperate for acceptance and love. Scott Baio gave the character a mix of energy and vulnerability that made Chachi relatable to younger viewers growing up during the late 1970s. Born September 22, 1960, in New York to an Italian-American family, Scott Baio quickly became one of America's biggest teen TV stars after Happy Days. He later found more success with Charles in Charge, though his career also faced controversy and personal struggles over the years. Now 65, Baio lives a far quieter life, focusing mostly on family and staying away from much of the Hollywood spotlight. Lori Beth Allen, portrayed by Linda Pearl at age 19, brought warmth, intelligence, and quiet strength to Happy Days during Richie Cunningham's most important years of growing up. Lori Beth was never the loudest person in the room, but audiences connected deeply with her sincerity, calm personality, and the sense of comfort she gave to those around her. A bright and thoughtful young woman with strong values, she represented a new generation of American women beginning to step beyond traditional expectations while still holding on to kindness and emotional depth. Born September 2, 1955, in Connecticut, Linda Pearl spent part of her childhood living in Japan before returning to the United States to pursue acting. After Happy Days, she built a long-lasting career in television and on Broadway, earning praise for her warm singing voice and love of jazz music. Now 70, Linda enjoys a quieter life centered around music, theater, and appearances at nostalgic events celebrating classic American television. Thank you for joining us as we revisited the unforgettable memories of Happy Days. And if those old laughs still live somewhere in your heart, don't forget to follow along so we can continue celebrating the television legends and timeless moments that an entire generation will never forget.